In 1949, as the world recovered from the devastation of the Second World War, a new alliance was born. It was called the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. Its purpose was simple but profound: to prevent another global conflict, and to ensure that an attack on one would be considered an attack on all. The idea for NATO grew out of fear. Europe was in ruins after 1945. Millions were displaced, cities destroyed, economies shattered. At the same time, the Soviet Union had emerged as a superpower, expanding its influence across Eastern Europe. Nations like Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Hungary were drawn behind what Winston Churchill famously called the Iron Curtain. Western Europe, weak and vulnerable, sought protection. The United States, emerging as the world's strongest power, agreed to step in. In April 1949, 12 countries signed the North Atlantic Treaty in Washington, D.C. They included the United States, Canada, and 10 European nations such as the United Kingdom, France, Italy, and the Netherlands. Article 5 of the treaty became its cornerstone: collective defense. If one member was attacked, all would come to its aid. This principle was meant to deter any potential aggressor, especially the Soviet Union. Throughout the Cold War, NATO stood as the military counterweight to the Warsaw Pact, the alliance formed by the Soviets and their satellite states in 1955. Europe was divided into two armed camps, and NATO became a crucial pillar of Western defense. The alliance grew over time. Greece and Turkey joined in 1952, West Germany in 1955, and Spain in 1982. With every expansion, NATO's reach and influence widened. Its forces trained together, planned together, and prepared for a war they hoped would never come. But NATO was not only about military power, it also became a symbol of shared values: democracy, freedom, and cooperation. It was a way to bind North America and Western Europe together, ensuring that no single nation would stand alone. The Cold War ended in 1991 with the collapse of the Soviet Union. Many thought NATO's purpose might fade. After all, the enemy it was created to counter no longer existed. But instead, NATO adapted. In the 1990s, it took on new missions. NATO forces intervened in the Balkans, helping to end wars in Bosnia and Kosovo. In 2001, after the attacks on the United States, NATO invoked Article 5 for the first and only time in its history. Its members joined together in the fight against terrorism, deploying troops to Afghanistan. The alliance continued to expand, welcoming countries from the former Eastern Bloc. Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic joined in 1999, followed by others, including the Baltic states in 2004. For many of these nations, membership was a guarantee of security after decades of Soviet